So this time we're taking a look at the last single carded figure from the DC Universe Classics Series 20, and indeed the last DC Universe Classics figure, because the line is getting rebranded into DC Universe All-Stars. And today we're taking a look at the Reverse Flash. The Reverse Flash is just a straight reuse, repaint figure with a slight tweaks here and there. And, really, I think a lot of people have been waiting for this simple repaint for a while, since the Series 7 Flash came out. You figured we might get a variant Reverse Flash, but that wasn't so back then, and it's taken him until now to do a Reverse Flash. And before we get into the character, we're going to take a look at the back of the package a little bit. And you see here the biography and statistics, and you see a picture of the figure, a picture of the other figures in this wave, and a picture of the Collect and Connect Necron figure. Again, he is basically a reuse of the Flash body. They've done everything the same except for his facial features, and they've replaced his left hand with a hand so he can hold his little wand that he comes with. Now, I'm not sure what this wand is from. I can't outright recall if this is if he uses this in Flashpoint or one of his many Silver Age appearances. I'm not sure, but it's a neat little staff, and it does give him a little bit of his own sort of identity rather than just looking exactly like the Flash. So he has this really ticked off look on his face. His mouth is drawn in a tight grimace or frown, and I really like the red eyes on this guy, and that's really nice touch. The symbol of the Reverse Flash would be black and red, and all the lightning bolts. There is only one little paint mishap down there at the boot, but that is not much. He's also got some nice highlights to him with this sort of slightly orangey yellow to bring out some of his sculpted details here, and that's nice. For accessories, he does include this little staff here, a nice lightning bolts on either end, and a grip in the middle for him to hold. He grips it pretty well. It is a little bit loose, but not too much. Now, for articulation, he does have the same basic articulation points. Head goes up and down, left and right. Arms go all the way around, out to the side. Rotate at the bicep, bend at the elbow, rotate at the wrist. Waist or ab articulation forward and back. Waist articulation left and right. Legs go forward, back, out to the side. rotate at the thigh, bend at the knee, and he bends at the ankles. Very neat. And this figure is all about the paint job and the head sculpt here, which they've really done a great job on this. Even though this is a reuse, this is my favorite figure out of this wave. Really glad that we got a Reverse Flash. I think he makes a good addition to, even though he isn't technically a member of the Super Friends Legion of Doom, I'd put him in with the Legion of Doom. You get a nice Flash Rogues gallery going on with Captain Cold and Captain Boomerang, and now Reverse Flash, although again, not one of the Rogues, technically. Reverse Flash he has two origins, the pre-Crisis and post-Crisis. Now they're pretty much similar, with a few differences. In the pre-Crisis, which is Crisis on Infinite Earths in 1985, he was a criminal who found a time capsule that had one of the Flash suits in it. And he then uses a machine to jumpstart the speed powers that the suit has soaked up from the Flash somehow, and that allows him to have super speed while wearing the suit, and that process actually changes the suit's colors to the reverse. So that's why he's got the red and yellow switched on the suit. So he commits crimes in the the 25th century, and the Flash actually runs into him on his way through another time-traveling adventure and defeats him quickly. Having been defeated, Zoom becomes obsessed with the Flash, and he finds out all there is to know about him, including his secret identity, and uses this information to attack the Flash time after time, and including killing Iris Allen, who refused his proposal of marriage, because Zoom actually went to the point where he didn't want to just be like Barry Allen. He wanted to be Barry Allen. Zoom did escape to the future and came back to strike out at the Flash's second fiancée, Fiona Webb. However, the Flash kills Thawne by breaking his neck. This leads to a trial of the Flash, and that happens right before the Crisis. The Flash is, I believe, acquitted of the he is acquitted of the crime of murder, and he goes off into the future to live with his first wife, who he had thought dead, but had mentally returned to her own time. There's a lot in there. After the Crisis, his origin was tweaked to what is reflected on the back of the package here, where he's a fan of the Flash, not a criminal, that has tried to recreate the accident to gain the same powers of the Flash, and he's even changed his face to look like Barry Allen. He uses the cosmic treadmill, which is still in the Flash Museum in the 25th century, and travels back to the past. And when he first comes back, in a very neat storyline, the very first time he comes back, he actually comes back after Barry Allen is thought to have died, and he thinks he's Barry Allen, and he tries to replace Wally West, who's then just kind of gotten into the right spot, being used to being the Flash. And for a while, he's able to fool everyone in both Keystone and Central City. However, as he's faced with the facts that he's not really Barry Allen, he goes totally overboard and starts attacking Central City. However, he's defeated by all the speedsters, but mainly Wally, and he's returned to his own time with no knowledge of the first trip back. And from there, it goes on to what happened in his Silver Age appearances, his first meeting with the real Barry, and then going back and killing Iris Allen, and then trying to kill Iris West, and being killed by the Flash. He mysteriously reappears during Flash Rebirth, and he mentions that he's going to be resurrected quite soon. And that's in fact a reference to Blackest Night and Brightest Day, where his resurrection plays a key part in that storyline. That actually chronologically takes place before Flash Rebirth for the Reverse Flash. In that storyline, or Flash Rebirth, he realizes that he can't kill the Flash because he needs Barry Allen to have become the Flash in order for him to become the Reverse Flash. So he starts playing with the timeline and attacking and killing off and erasing events in Barry Allen's friends and family in their history, but not messing with Barry Allen and his his timeline. And that causes all sorts of mayhem, causes a Flashpoint universe, and eventually it gets to the point where he's able to eliminate Barry Allen from ever getting the Flash powers, yet still retaining his speed powers. And there's a big showdown at the end of Flashpoint, and Barry Allen, of course, is able to set things right. But my guess is that he didn't actually quite set them right, which leads to the crisis on Infinite Earths to not have happened quite right. I'm not sure, but that was my theory, and leads to the creation of this new DC universe and the new 52 titles of DC Comics that we've been treated to for the past 4 or 5 months. So we've yet to see the Reverse Flash in the new 52, and which is kind of good. Even with the Silver Age and up into the modern age, the Reverse Flash was used very sparingly. It's really tough to write, a character that has the same. I mean, he's as fast as the Flash, so they're too even, and it takes a real good story to overcome that sort of deadlock between the two characters. So my guess is we'll probably see him again. It's just a matter of time. No pun intended. I mean, he is a time traveler. But yeah, so that'll be it for the Reverse Flash and the end of an era here with the last DC Universe Classics single carded figure, which will be on the last Collect and Connect figure, Necron. So until then, I'll see you.